What's up, man? You ready for a walk? Let's go. What's up, guys? Dexter here, and thanks for joining me and Iroh on another walk. So, first and foremost, I had to let the instrumental play. Can we just be thankful for a second that while you walk with us, we hear instrumentals at the same time? Who else walks to theme music? Anyway, hopefully you guys have been enjoying these videos. I've been really enjoying making them, and today I want to talk about wussification and why everybody is always outraged about something. So, wussification might be, or it might not be, a word that you've never heard of before. So, let's define wussification. So, essentially, it is to make weak and ineffectual. So, if you've ever read a book called The Coddling of the American Mind, I would highly, highly recommend it because it talks about all of the facets of current American culture, which helps to create weak minded, socially inept individuals. And it just goes across the spectrum. So, first and foremost, I want to talk about some of the things that I feel like contribute to this wussification and this need of always being outraged about something. But then I'm going to end it on a note of how do we get better? Okay. So, first and foremost, in today's overly politicized world, there are simply too many echo chambers. We love to hang out on parts of the internet where everybody thinks the same. We want to hang out with individuals in which everybody thinks the same. We want to watch only one news site in which everybody thinks the same. Sorry to tell you, CNN is garbage. It just is. CNN is awful. And let's just go ahead and offend the other side. Fox News is just as bad. So, here's the thing. What's funny is that some people talk about college as being woke, and some of you probably don't even know what woke actually means, but that's a completely different video. But college is actually one of the few places where you truly have a melting pot of individuals in which you're really forced to interact with these other folks. You might be on a group project. I'll never forget my senior project for an information systems major, and our goal was to design a database. So I had one guy who was writing the technical documentation, another guy who did the front end, so he built the website, and me being the database guy because by trade, my career, I'm a database administrator. I was doing the database piece, and I was doing it in Access at the time. Look, folks, you don't necessarily use Access, but that was at the time, okay? And it was great for the simple fact of you just learn how to operate with other people. Not all of us had the same thoughts and beliefs. Not all of us came from the same background, but here's the thing. We were forced to talk, to communicate, and to just put everything out there on the table with a common goal. Here's the thing. We all have a common goal in life, right? Right? Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to be successful? Don't you want to have peace and safety? Yeah, I talked about that in a previous video. Get with the freaking program. Second, what else contributes to it? Never losing. Never losing. Guys, I grew up in an era in which you just got your butt kicked in certain things, okay? Like, an older kid is going to beat the brakes off of you in basketball in the neighborhood, and you're just going to have to deal with it. It's one of those things where I'm not going to say hashtag or quote unquote get good, but sometimes you need to get good and you need to shut up until you do. It doesn't mean that you have to go crying and whining about it and demand that you be seen because you participated. Hello, participation trophy people out there, because your participation trophy means nothing. And lastly, one of the other things that contributes directly to this wussification is just the constant pandering. And some groups and certain folks get it more than others. But there are just certain people that feel like they are beyond reproach. And then you have other individuals that cannot accept no, or just not hearing something that they don't like. One of the things I always tell my friends, I'm like, look, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. As a friend, I want you to be the best version of you. And honestly, as my friend, you should want me to be the best version of me as well. And it's like, I want us to hold each other accountable and to hold each other to those high standards so that we can be the best that we can freaking be. So, now that you know what contributes to it, I also want to just make a note that our constant online life and news cycle, it directly panders to it. It directly panders to it. It panders to the wussification, but then also kind of flipping the page a little bit, it also panders to the need for constant outrage. Think about it. And this might hit you. My next statement might hit some of you 3 or 4 days from now, a week from now. But here's the thing. And I'm about to be brutally honest. Some of you have never had a real reason to feel outrage. Some of you have never truly had an instance in which you were hurt and downtrodden. You know, it's just the truth. A lot of people, especially in Western society, you have a pretty decent life. So subconsciously, you create rifts and points of outrage for no actual reason. I've seen this lots of times online with a YouTuber that I follow in the tech space because, like I said, I work in tech. I'm a database administrator, and I watch a lot of tech. I consume a lot of tech, and people they just shoot off for no reason. I'm just like, you don't have anything else to do you? You legitimately have nothing else going on that you have to feel the need to be outraged and make rage posts and to lose your freaking mind on the internet. I legitimately don't get it. And that leads me to my conclusion here. And this is just me talking about how to get out. Like, how do you stop it? Because a lot of times this kind of crap puts you in a bad freaking mood. And I'm not here for the darkness, folks. I'm not here for the darkness. I fly kind of low anyway. So I don't need anything to make me crash, okay? So, first and foremost, I'm not going to tell you to go quote unquote touch grass. But maybe you should try it. I don't know. Like, you're already out here with me on this walk, and I'm so thankful that you look at the trees. Look at the trees. The trees are beautiful. Look, I'm even waving my hands in the video right now. Like, look at the trees, look at the path, look at the dog. It's great out here. It feels great. Hopefully you brought your jacket on this one. But maybe try doing something like this more often. It's great for the mental. Maybe pick up some hobbies. But last and not least, the thing that I always do is if I'm feeling some type of way, or if I'm feeling outraged, or if my feelings are just off, you know how you wake up and you just feel off? I practice simply redirecting my thoughts. Like, I always tell people, like, if you're in a bad mood, you have to feel it out. So I'm never going to tell someone to not feel the way that you feel, because you're justified in how you feel. Okay? First and foremost, you're justified in feeling upset about something. But maybe where it's coming from, maybe that reason of where it's coming from is coming from a place that doesn't make any sense. Maybe you're upset about something that you shouldn't be upset about. Maybe you're upset at the fact that someone got something that you've always had, but it doesn't mean that you lose what you got. Message. Maybe you're upset just because you're bored. Maybe you shouldn't be. And just redirect your thoughts to something positive. And I think that can help a lot with all this outrage. it can certainly help with all this outrage. So, guys, thanks for joining us on a walk, man. This is a topic that I love talking about, wussification and outrage, because it is so true. And like I said, if you've never read the book Coddling of the American Mind, this is not a freaking ad. I'm not sponsored by anyone. Definitely check it out. I listened to it on audiobook a few years ago, and it absolutely resonates. It absolutely resonates. But yeah, think some good thoughts. And hey, we'll be back next week for another walk. Hopefully, you can join us.